Welcome in for another edition of the Morning Espresso on the SDH Network, brought to you by Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. I'm Jason Longshore. All the soccer news you need to know for Friday, February 7th. The quadruple, it's still on for Liverpool. No one in England has ever done this. The quadruple, it's the three domestic trophies: the League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Champions League. You can even go back into the old European Cup days. You can go back into the old English First Division days. No one has ever done this, but Liverpool could this year, and they're going to start getting asked about it. Arne Slot, his side won big over Tottenham in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semifinal. They go through to the final to face Newcastle. They've played 37 games this season across all competitions. They've lost 3 times. That's it. Really impressive what he has done, taking over from Jurgen Klopp. And in a year that everyone thought was going to be a transition year for Liverpool, it could be their best ever year in their illustrious history. Let's get into a couple moves in MLS. The New York Red Bulls, they were busy yesterday. They've acquired left back Marcelo Morales from Chilean top flight side Universidad de Chile. That was announced yesterday. 21 years old. He's played over 100 times for Universidad de Chile, including Copa Libertadores. He's got 2 caps for the Chilean national team. Exciting young player that the Red Bulls are adding. They're adding an older player they know very well. Tim Parker, the center back, has signed via free agency. So the Red Bulls have bolstered that back line quite a bit in the last 24 hours. Hernán Múñoz is linked with a departure from the San Jose Earthquakes. This is a complicated one. Reports surfaced in Argentina yesterday that Foster Gillett was going to make this move. I believe Herman Garcia Grova first broke this. He wanted to bring Munoz back from the San Jose Earthquakes. But this is very, very complicated when you're talking about Foster Gillett, because it also came out earlier in the day that he is behind in his payments to other clubs for players that have moved in this window. Estudiantes has been a club that has benefited from Foster Gillett's alleged investment, although I don't think they've received their investment in cash, along with some of the clubs that players were moved from. They haven't been paid yet. Luciano Acosta of Cincinnati was linked with a move to Estudiantes as part of this. It's a very weird situation. And look, I've said it before, because of the way that Foster Gillett has tried to do business since his father left the Liverpool ownership situation. These clubs in Argentina should have stayed away from this, but now it could get really, really messy. I don't think Munoz is going to leave San Jose, at least in this situation. I don't know how he can at this point. And San Jose, I don't think will let him go unless they actually have money in hand. It's not how MLS operates. Speaking of Luciano Acosta, he gave a statement to Laurel Fowler, who you've heard on the SDH Network, great journalist covering FC Cincinnati in the market. He said that if he leaves FC Cincinnati, it's all because of general manager Chris Albright. His quote is, "My frustration after the last game of the season was all because of my issues with Chris that had evolved to a point that the locker room became too small for the two of us." That's a problem. That's not a problem you can easily solve. And if Cincinnati can't get something done here shortly, and again, windows are closing, and I don't know what you can do, and I don't think you can trust Foster Gillett to get anything done. How do you coexist? How do you live with this for another 6 months or so? The Cincinnati, I don't know what they can do. You know, does he go to Brazil in the short term? I guess that's a possibility, because Cincinnati, if they're going to move on, they need to move on. And if Portland is going to move on from Evander, they need to move on. All of it seems like some dominoes that are waiting to fall, but I don't know how and when they fall. Stay tuned. MLS power structure is going to be a little different if Cincinnati is not among the top teams, if Luciano Acosta is not happy, or they don't get replacements lined up, or whatever. It's just stay tuned. Keep the notifications on. FA Cup fourth round is coming up this weekend. It starts tonight. Manchester United hosting Leicester. The home form for the Red Devils is the worst in their history, but they are unbeaten in 18 FA Cup games at Old Trafford in regular time. Three other matchups to keep an eye on: Everton hosting Bournemouth. Bournemouth have won 7 of their last 9 against Everton, but Everton have had a lot of success at home against Bournemouth. Brighton hosting Chelsea. Chelsea have won their last 4 over Brighton in all competitions. And Birmingham City versus Newcastle. That's a very tricky one for Newcastle coming off of Carabao Cup in midweek. Birmingham City have been a big time star studded team in League One, even more so than Wrexham. Are they good enough to take care of Newcastle in the FA Cup? We will find out this weekend. Another big game this weekend: Real Madrid hosting Atleti. That's on Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 versus 2 in La Liga. Real Madrid have some serious issues on the back line right now with a ton of injuries. They also have some serious issues in the media. They're under fire for attempting to influence referees, including using Real Madrid TV to smear referees who are assigned to their games. La Liga president Javier Tebas told the media that someone at Real Madrid has, quote, lost their head, unquote, after a meeting between the clubs, the Spanish Federation, La Liga, and the referees on Thursday. Real Madrid did not attend this event, which was an event to announce changes in the structure of refereeing in Spain. They were the only team to not attend the event. Atleti has been very targeted with some of their social media posts leading up to the game. You think some of the banter in MLS has been a big deal as of late? Yeah, you might want to go check some of Atleti's posts lately. They were going in, so this could be a game with a little extra spice. Carlo Ancelotti fired back in his pregame press conference. Real Madrid, Atleti, it's always got spice to it. This one might have a little extra. Saturday, 3 o'clock. You can watch on the ESPN family of networks. Speaking of Real Madrid, a legend announced his retirement yesterday: Marcelo. He arrived at the Santiago Bernabeu as an 18-year-old. He was set to replace Roberto Carlos. Not an easy task. He lived up to every bit of it. 25 trophies with Real Madrid, 6 La Liga titles, 5 Champions League, 3 Copas del Rey. He also won a Recopa and a Copa Libertadores when he went back to Fluminense at the end of his career. 58 caps, 6 goals for Brazil. He has been an amazing fullback, one of the best of all time, over 540 games for Real Madrid. He played like a Brazilian. Just loved to make runs from deep positions. He showed the technical ability of a forward. He probably could have been a great box to box midfielder. Unbelievable skill, great defender. Marcelo, one of the all time greats, announces his retirement at the age of 36. There was speaking of social media a little bit ago, there was a post that made the rounds the last couple of days, and even some semi-reputable news outlets have posted on it. Just because somebody makes a graphic that might look like a realistic graphic, although it looked like a lot of other graphics that other social media outlets have made. But anyway, Thiago Messi has not played Atlanta United's U13s, let alone score 11 goals in a game. That didn't happen. There's no game. It didn't exist. Check your sources. Like we've said many, many times, we're talking about transfers. Now you have to check it about academy reports. Check your sources. This didn't happen. I've seen reputable outlets and reputable reporters post it, and people are like, guys, this didn't happen. This wasn't a real game. This didn't happen. It didn't exist. They didn't play. Oh, oops. Yeah, Thiago Messi's probably going to be a very good soccer player, and by all accounts, at his age, he is very, very good. But come on, let's not overhype the kid with fake reports. Come on, please, come on. CONCACAF Champions Cup. The Mexican clubs might need to come on right now because Chivas, they needed a goal in the 100th minute. There were 9 minutes of stoppage time added. They got one in the 10th. That drew them level 1-1 on the road in the Dominican Republic against Cibao. If Chivas advances in the second leg, and they'll be favored to in Guadalajara next week, they're set to face Club America in a Super Classico CONCACAF edition. Pumas, they traveled north, very north, to Calgary to face Cavalry FC. They took the lead before halftime, but they gave up 2 second half goals to lose 2-1. Now they have to overturn that in the second leg back in Mexico City next week. Saturday, Atlanta United back in preseason against New England Revolution in Bradenton at the IMG Academy. The match is set for 1 p.m. You'll be able to watch it at atlutd.com/live. I'll be on the call. Hello. Uh, really looking forward to it. I don't think we'll see Miguel Almiron. We did see pictures of him in training yesterday. Just, I didn't think it would hit me as much as it did to see him back with an Atlanta United crest on, but it did. It's very, very cool. I'm not expecting to see him tomorrow. We'll see if players go more than, and we've had a couple do more than 45, but generally it's been about 45 minutes at this stage. Maybe a little bit more as they ramp up. We had the chance yesterday to speak to Luke Brennan and Luisa Brom, and then here on the SDH Network, we had the chance to exclusively check in with new first team goalkeeper Jaden Hibbert. You will be able to read and hear some of that conversation coming up today on the SDH Network. Big thank you to everybody who has signed up for the Fanaticos membership. It's $10 a year. Check all of our social media platforms for how you sign up. You're going to get, as well as getting into our chant group. If you don't have the chant app for supporters groups, you'll be able to download that. You'll be able to communicate with us via there. We'll be able to communicate with you. But you also get a membership card that will get you discounts at many local establishments, with more being added all the time. You're going to get your money back, and your money helps us grow and helps us do more to cover the game all over the southeast, the world, everywhere we're ended up going these days. That helps support the SDH network. And thank you. And big thank you to our new partners at Oglethorpe University for presenting the Morning Espresso. And we'll be back with more espresso next week.